Hello, everybody. Hold on 1 second. Someone just wants the link. I'm going to shoot it off to them quick before we start. Hopefully that works. Welcome, everybody. Happy Tuesday or Monday. Wow, I'm already moving up. It's Monday, right? It's Monday. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's go let someone else in. Hope everybody's doing well. I think a lot of us need this practice tonight. I know I do. It's about trying to stay positive all the time, right? And we're all just trying our best. So let's carve out this time for ourselves and our practice. And if you see me fiddling around, it's just because I think I might be letting a couple more people in. Thanks, Amy. You're welcome. So welcome again. If you have a blanket or pillow or cushion to prop yourself up, take your hips off and your back off the floor. That's always nice to support the spine and also to get comfy as we settle into our practice. I invite you to close your eyes or to lower your gaze down to the floor or your yoga mat. I'm going to keep mine open for a few more seconds just so I don't miss anybody that wants to pop on still. If you need to let out a big sigh, like I do, then let that big sigh out. Maybe big enough so everyone else in your house can hear. You just letting go, releasing, shoulders softening. And coming into your practice. So if you've just joined us, prop yourself up, get comfy. We're going to close the eyes and just come to the breath to begin. So drawing some nice long inhales through the nose. Feeling the belly expand. And then nice long exhale through the nose or the mouth. And with each breath, we are letting go of anything that happened today, anything you still have to get done tonight. And we're bringing ourselves to the mat and to the present moment. So by following the breath, that just keeps us centered, keeps our attention here and now. And as our minds like to do, they will wander, and you'll notice you start to think of other things. And what I want you to do is when those thoughts come along, you notice them, acknowledge them, and then you let them go. Judgment on those thoughts. There's no judgment on maybe the thoughts keep coming. It's all about training the mind to notice them, acknowledge them, and then come back to your breath, come back to your practice, and let those thoughts go. And when you feel ready to start to add some movement, I invite you to start to take the head and the neck in circles. So drawing chin along the chest, letting the back of the head roll along the shoulders, and syncing your breath to your movement. So we're inhaling as the chin comes across the chest perhaps, and we're exhaling as the back of the head rolls along the shoulders. And then when you're ready, we'll change directions. Keeping that breath and movement together as we work through any kinks, any sore spots. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the head back to the center. We'll draw the hands together at the heart. And we're just going to let the chin drop to the chest. Enjoying a nice deep stretch through the back of the neck. And then inhaling, our hands are going to slide beside the ears. So sliding beside the ears to meet up behind the head, and then extending along overhead, palms together. So lengthening through the spine, and then exhaling off to either side, coming into your twist. Lifting and lengthening, and then softening into your twist. So maybe you get a little more rotation of the spine. Beautiful. Coming back to center, returning the palms to the heart, dropping the chin to the chest, and then inhaling, hands slide beside the ears. They meet up behind the head, and we lengthen and lift. And then we exhale into our twist to the other side. Again, on the inhale, we lift and lengthen through the spine, and on the exhale, we soften and twist. And then we'll release and return back to center. I'm going to throw my pillow off to the side as I bring the hands to the knees, and we come into our Sufi grind. Again, thinking about syncing your breath to your movement. Maybe inhaling across the front of the mat, maybe exhaling across the back, or vice versa. It's what feels most natural for you. Listening through the hips, opening the chest across the front, rounding the spine across the back. And when you're ready, changing directions, but keeping the breath flowing. Awesome. One last wrap around. Come back to center when you are ready. Let's send the legs out long into a nice straddle. So sitting up nice and tall, pull the belly in to support the spine. Pop the toes up to the ceiling. Bring the fingertips down to the floor in front of you. Imagine a string pulling the crown of your head up to the ceiling. And then we're just going to walk the fingertips out in front. We're going to feel a nice deep stretch backs of the legs. Try to keep the spine engaged here if you can. Awesome. With the left hand, I'm going to place it right down in the center. With my right hand, I'm going to grab my bow and arrow string and I'm going to draw it back right across the chest, following my gaze to my fingertips as we open up into a twist. Awesome. And then taking the palm up on that right hand, we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to send the hand under the left to come into a closed twist. And again, I'm just following my hand with the gaze. Beautiful. We'll unravel from that. We'll switch the hands out, right coming into the center. Left hand drawing the bow and arrow string all the way up. And then threading the needle as the palm comes up and under. We'll release that. Bring both hands back up. We'll walk ourselves back up. Slide the legs back together. Give the legs a little shake. And then sweeping the arms up overhead. And then forward folding. And here with our forward fold, you're going to notice my knees are bent. My spine is rounded. My head is heavy. I'm not worried about my alignment. We're just letting this nice, relaxed forward fold for some nice deep belly breaths here. And let's all release something that is not serving us. So what can we let go of at this moment that is not serving you? Maybe for me, I'll share with you, it's the control of the situation we're in. It's trying to believe that we are in control. Excuse me, I think it's and needing to let go that we are not in control and that need for control is not serving me. And I'm sure a lot of us moms can feel the same. But you let go of it. You need to let go of it. And when you're ready to roll up out of that reclined twist, I want you to bring the soles of your feet together. I'm going to take my thumbs onto the arches of my feet. We're going to give ourselves a little foot massage as we just work through the arches of the feet. Maybe two balls of the toes. Maybe the heels. Maybe we'll close our eyes. Finding a little silence, a little stillness here as we give ourselves a nice self-massage. Beautiful. And then I'm just going to send the elbows right to the thighs to guide the legs down. And let the head be heavy again. Send your breath into the hip flexors. We assist them in releasing and letting go. And then taking a hold of the shins, just using them for leverage. We're just going to lift the heart up to the ceiling. A little back bend. Awesome. We'll release out of that. Bringing the feet the width of your yoga mat, bringing the hands in behind for support. We'll just windshield wiper out the legs. Releasing the lower back. Any tension we've built up. Awesome. And then we're going to make our way to all fours. So we'll scoot around, coming into table pose. So you want to stack your wrists under your shoulders, knees under our hips, coming into your table. And we're going to move straight away into our cat-cow. Some spinal flexions. So tucking the chin, tucking the tailbone, arching the spine. And then dropping the belly, raising the gaze. And here we are again, syncing our breath to our movement. You can inhale on one of the postures, exhale on the other. Whichever comes more naturally for you. Perfect. We'll come back into our table. So back into the flat back position. And then we're just going to extend the right leg out back. Dial the toes down towards your mat. Pull the belly button up and in. And then if you want to come into your full bird dog, we're just going to draw the opposite arm up. And then we're going to bring knee to elbow 3 times underneath. So just tapping and extending 3 times. Beautiful. After you've done your 3, you can bring the hands and knee back down to the mat. We're going to take a little break off our wrist by sending the right leg back out, but I'm going to pivot on that foot so the edge of the foot is lined up with the back of the mat. With my right hand, I'm going to draw it back up to the sky. Gaze can follow up to the fingertips. And then let's just work through that shoulder by doing some big arm circles. In both directions. Awesome. Returning that hand back down to the mat. Returning that knee back down to the mat. And then catching the bird dog on the opposite side. So send the left leg out straight. Dial the toes down. Pull the belly button up and in to support the spine. And then draw the opposite hand up when you're ready. Good, and just as we did before, 3 taps, knee to elbow, extending after each one. Perfect, bringing the hand, the knee back down. I'm going to send the left leg out this time, pivot, so it lines up with the back of the mat. Come up and off my left hand as I draw all the way up to the ceiling. The gaze follows the fingertips. And then circling through that shoulder. And opposite direction. And then returning back down to the mat. I'm going to curl the toes under. Come up and off the wrist if you need to do any wrist circles or anything like that after being down on them. You can do that. But then we're going to come right into camel or a modified version of camel tonight. So just bringing the hands to the lower back or the hips, lifting the heart up to the feeling that back bend. Alternatively, if you want to come into your full camel, you're bringing the hands down to the heels. I'm up on my toes. And then we're going to counter that back bend by bringing our big toes together. Knees are going to come nice and wide to allow room for the belly and the boobs. And then we're going to slide right down into our extended child's pose. Forehead coming down to your yoga mat. Or if that's not in your practice, or it's not comfortable for you, you can stack your fists and let the forehead rest on the fists. Otherwise, we're all the way down, melting the head and the heart to the mat. Filling up the back space now with that deep yoga breath. So just imagine the lower back. You're sending all your air to that lower back space. We're going to bring the palms of the hands together here in our child's pose. And we're going to draw the hands behind the neck or the head. So it's kind of like you've got your namaste prayer hands and you're just pulling them back into a little shark fin. And this gets a nice stretch for the triceps, a little release for the shoulders. And what I want you to do is see if you can bring some noise or some sound to your exhale. So on your exhale, see if you can let something go. And sometimes by bringing the sound to that exhale, we really can feel that feeling of releasing and letting go what doesn't serve us. Nice big exhales through the nose or the mouth. I like the big ocean sound coming right out through the mouth as we release and let go. All right, yogis, let's return the hands back down to the yoga mat. We're going to line the pinky fingers up with the sides of the mat. As we curl the toes under, we send the hips up and back into our down dog. We'll pedal it out, bending one knee, then the other. Fingertips are spread. And then we're just going to baby step. Nice, mindful baby steps right up to the center of the mat. Knees are bent, head hangs heavy. You can grab onto your elbows, just sway from side to side, or let the fingertips wash over the yoga mat. Beautiful. And then returning the hands to the mat, I'm just going to step right through so that I can come into corpse pose or shavasana or relaxation and come all the way down. If you're feeling a lot of tension in the lower back, send your feet wide to the edges of your mat and let the knees just collapse inwards onto each other. Or you can shove a pillow or a blanket under the knees, your choice. Or just come into your full extended corpse pose. So as we come into our final relaxation, I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to find some stillness in the body. You can allow your breath now to come and go as it pleases. And you can let the mind be free of any thoughts, any distractions, any to-do lists. I want you to rest, knowing that where you are right now is exactly where you need to be.
Where my soul
You can wiggle your fingers. You can wiggle your toes. You can bring your awareness back to your breath. And you can begin to make any movements, adjustments, stretch, or because the one bonus of virtual yoga is that you could really just roll right into your bed, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you would like to. Otherwise, take these next few moments to move in any way that feels good for you. Maybe bringing the knees in toward the chest and rocking on the lower back, or stretching out nice and long. So before I close off, I'm going to draw us a collective self-care card from my self-care deck, my favorite deck, especially for these times, being a mom, which I know many of us are in the same boat. So I'm going to draw us a card for tonight. And tonight's card is chanting, which I sometimes do in class with everybody, but not a ton. So I'm going to read you the chanting part. So the mantra for chanting is, my voice is heard. If you're new to chanting, you can start with learning to tone Om and the sound for each chakra. So what this is about is imagining what blocks, real or imagined, prevent you from speaking your truth, from chanting, or from having your voice heard. So what practical steps can we take to open up just that being comfortable with having our voice heard, with chanting if that's something that you enjoy doing, and being comfortable with the sound of our own voices. So thank you all for joining me tonight. I know it's been another challenging day for many of us. I know it was kind of a downer day for me, so I really appreciate seeing everybody out and joining me on the mat. Many of you I will see again next week for class. Otherwise, I bring my hands to heart center and I say to you all, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you feel whole. Namaste, everybody. Be well, take care. I will see you all soon and chat with you even sooner, I bet. Take care, guys. Namaste.